fellow book lovers, welcome back to the Bibliovert channel. My name is Jacqueline, and for today's video we are going to be talking about my 2025 reading bullet journal. In the past, I have used physical journals to keep track of all of the books I have read. I started to notice that my last year's journal, a lot of my spreads weren't even completed. I never filled them out. I had plans for it and never did. And just really felt like it was harder to keep up with, and I kind of felt a little burnt out. And even my monthly spreads were just kind of a background and really not much to it. So I got an iPad for Christmas from my sweet husband, so I decided to try and give digital bullet journaling a shot. Now, a few things. One, I am super new to this, so please let me know if there's anything that I should be doing differently. Two, I use GoodNotes. I do pay for the monthly subscription. I also use this for work, so that has been really handy to have a bunch of different notebooks that I can use. But I also did all of my designs in Canva, so I just PDF'd them and then uploaded it to GoodNotes. So all of my bullet journaling that I'm doing, I'm not compiling it in GoodNotes itself. This is all PDF'd. So if you would like access to that PDF, I'd be happy to send it to you. I'm just more familiar with Canva and decided to give that a shot. So I also pretty quickly learned the things that I like to have in my bullet journal. There were some things that I have kept, some things that I haven't, but I do enjoy kind of having the same structure every year. So that did really help when it came to creating what I wanted in Canva. So for example, I didn't use this 2 years ago, so I didn't include this spread, but I do really like my year in review, and so that is something that I added. Like this one, for example, I didn't end up filling out most of it, so that was something that I knew that I could leave out for this bullet journal. It just helped me know what I wanted, and since I've been doing the same thing for so long, it was surprisingly pretty quick to put everything together in Canva. So with all of that said, let's now jump into the actual digital reading journal for this year. So we have our cover page. I don't really know why I didn't give it a year, but I guess I'll just know that it's my 2025 reading journal. But then I always have a table of contents. This does not have any hyperlinks. Because this was my first time doing this, I decided to not try to do hyperlinks, and I'm actually okay with that because I'm able to just go up here and then I can go to whatever page I need to. So I figured that that wasn't something that I needed as much, and I have not missed it, which has been great. So I do have a couple of pages of this. This is my books read shelf, and I do keep it color coordinated. I put in 2 pages. I don't think I'm going to need 2 pages, but down here I have kind of my grid of what the different colors mean. This is a Patreon book, a personal read, fanfic, and a book that we read to review on the podcast. And so I just use a highlighter to add this in, and then I just use my own handwriting instead of typing it in. I like this page. I do think next time I might decorate the shelf a little bit more and make it a little bit more homey, but for the most part, I think it's pretty good. This is my books read in 2025. This is all of my reads so far, and then my ratings for them. I also have a little symbol here next to some of them. These are fanfics that might not be on Goodreads or Storygraph, so it just helps me keep track of how many books I've actually read during the year. This has ended up being one of my absolute favorite spreads that I have because it is so handy. I love being able to say like, oh, I know I read that, but how did I feel about it? And then go and just be able to peek at it immediately. It's also been so convenient to have it digitally because I don't have to fill in every single one of those stars. I can just like lasso it and then make a copy and bring it down. So it's just made all of it a lot faster. And I also just think it looks a lot cleaner than what I would be able to do on my own. This is a handwriting font that I downloaded, and then so it's sunshine handwriting. And so again, it doesn't necessarily look like it's a digital font, but it's so much better than my handwriting. And so I just like the way that it looks really clean and everything is really cohesive and coherent, and then I can just move it over, and it's just made it really, really, really convenient. I can just organize everything the way that I want to. Moving on, We then have my 2025 reading goal. So my goal is generally to read 100 books, and I have a little bit more than 100 on this one. And again, I'm just able to kind of plop it in as I go. I do think like some of the font is a little bit messed up, so I might go in and fix that retroactively. But again, what I love so much about this digital reading journal is I'm just able to like copy and paste instead of having to manually like fill in every single block. It's just been so much faster than any reading journal I've done in the past, which I think is going to help me not experience burnout. And so that is also something that I'm really grateful for. This is a page that I clearly have not kept up with because I haven't filled it in, but I do enjoy being able to see what my favorite read of the year is. So this might be something that I kind of retroactively fill in. I've read so many good books so far this year that it's been hard to decide month to month, but I will fill this out eventually. This is another one that I have done a horrible job keeping up with, but it will be easy to retroactively go fill in. It's keeping track of how many books and pages, the different genres, my star rating, if I've DNF'd a book that month, if I reread a different book, and so I can just go in and kind of fill it in as I go. But then at the end of the year, I'll have the total down below, so I can see how many YA books I read versus romance versus fanfics, how many of them were 5-star, 4, 3, like so on and so forth. So I really like being able to kind of see the analytics at the end of the year. I then have my new releases page, which this is another one of my favorites. And again, it's so nice doing it digitally because if I read a book and realize that its sequel's coming out this year, but say that it came out May 24th, then I could just go in and move that down and add it in there instead of feeling like everything was out of order in my handwritten reading journal. So I have this. Kingdom of the Forgotten by Teresa Weeks will be coming out this year, but it doesn't have a release date yet, so it's hanging out right there and I'm so excited about it. But then we have the rest of the year here, and again, it's just wonderful to kind of get to reference and see what books I'm looking forward to and what I need to be on the lookout for at bookstores when they do come out. We then have our Patreon book buddy read that we do every single month. So this month we're doing Flirting with Disaster by Nina Kumar, and since it's our readathon month, this will be open to the public and we do a Zoom date to talk about the book. But this is just a super handy way to kind of keep track of what I'm reading, and sometimes I'll put the star rating next to it so I can remember how I felt about it. But again, this has been a spread that I've been doing I think for the last 4 years and I love it. This is then keeping up with the different fanfics that I have read so far this year. It has not been nearly as many as I thought it would be, but it's also helping me remember how I felt about them, because again, usually I read so many that it can be hard to keep track. And now we are getting into the monthly spreads. Now, this is also something that I have designed in Canva. So all of these pieces, like this postage stamp, it's just one photo. And so I just go in and I add the photo here, and then I write on top of it. So all of these are not individual on this actual reading journal, it's individual in Canva. Again, that was just what was easiest for me since I'm very new to this, but I am familiar with Canva, so that's been helpful. And I think what's been really cool is kind of developing what the theme will be throughout the year. And so this has definitely kind of become more of what I want my focus for the rest of the year to be, where it's a really beautiful artwork and then kind of having some like pretty architectural pieces on top of it. So we were still just kind of trying to figure out what we were going to thematically be doing throughout the year, but I have really, really enjoyed this. And again, it takes so much less time per month, and I don't really need any supplies. I just need to have access to Canva. Being able to pursue something that I love, but not having to do it by hand and it taking hours upon hours has been wonderful. And then June, this is our readathon month. This year looked a little bit different, so I just used a background that we use for a lot of our readathon stuff, so this was just kind of a little nod to that. And then we start getting into just my placeholders that I have for the rest of the year. So I'll go in again and we'll just go over to pictures, and then I'll add in whatever picture it'll be. I then have my actual review pages. So this is a picture that I just kind of add in. And again, I have my title, author, genre, when I read it, how many pages, my star rating, and then I just write in again with my own handwriting my thoughts on the book. And again, this has just been such a wonderful way to kind of keep track, but do an homage to what I previously did. And then it's so handy because I can just then go over here and I can see whatever book I read and how I felt about it. And oh, how many pages was it? When did I read it? That kind of things. It's just so easy to find it, especially since you can see the pictures here on the side. So I have, I believe, 150 of these review pages. Maybe it's 100, I can't remember, but this is kind of what the template looks like, and then I'm just able to fill everything in. So because I have previously filled in the stars, I can just go over here and copy it. And when I go to a new review page, I then don't have to fill everything in. And so it's just so much easier, and say that whatever book this is, it was actually only 3 stars. So then I just erase the other 2. And so everything is just so quick and so easy to do, and I appreciate it so much. I've been racking my mind on what I'm going to be doing differently for my 2026 reading journal, and honestly, there aren't a whole lot of things. So again, because I really know what I like to have in my reading journal, I like to have a table of contents. I like to have my bookshelf. I like to have my books read with the ratings, and so on and so forth. I really know the things that I enjoy and what I don't necessarily want to have again. I do think that this page will change somehow. I think with maybe the font being smaller potentially. I'm not really quite sure how I'm going to do this one differently. But this is one that I've been doing for so long, and again, I really like it. So we'll see how this is going to be tweaked. But for the most part, I've been really, really happy with it. I do think I would still probably do everything in Canva, instead of trying to kind of junk journal from here. I would love to hear any tips and tricks, because again, I still consider myself very new to the iPad world, so there's a chance that I am missing things that are right in front of my face on what the iPad can do, and I just have no idea what it is. So I would love any recommendations, any changes. If there are better ways to do something, please let me know down in the comments below, because truly I don't know anything, but I definitely want to get better at using the iPad, so truly, please let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you have any questions, or if there's anything else that you would like to see regarding this reading journal, please let me know. We have videos of all of our reading journals previously, so I'll link those down below if you are interested in a physical reading journal and the different spreads that both Allie and I have created. So I will share those down below, but I hope you have a fantastic day, happy reading, and I will see you next time.